Captain, do you recognize this?
Yes, it was here, in my office.
I thought I could sell it for food. My family is starving.
No excuse. You shall make a valuable example to others of your kind who think to steal from the Empire.
She's far more valuable than you realize.
How do you mean?
To defeat an enemy, you must know them. Not simply their battle tactics, but their history, philosophy, art. So I will ask you again, Captain. Do you know what this is?
Some primitive native trinket.
It's a Kalikori. A revered Twi'lek heirloom, passed from parent to child through generations. Worthless to outsiders, priceless to family.
Yes, well, she stole it.
Yes, but why? War. It's all you ever known, isn't it? You were so young when you survived the Clone War. No wonder you're as equipped in spirit to fight as well as you do. War is in your blood. I study the art of war, work to perfect it. But you were forged by it.
Sir, she's just a peasant.
It doesn't matter where we come from, Admiral. Our will to be free is what's going to beat you.
You dare!
Slavin, please. You embarrass me in front of our host.
Host? What?
May I introduce Hera Syndulla, rebel pilot, freedom fighter, and military leader. Daughter of your nemesis, Cham Syndulla.
How did you know?
Because rebels have friends always rushing to the rescue. An unexpected pleasure to meet you, Captain Hera Syndulla.
Wish I could say the same, Admiral.
It is a pity our first encounter might, well, be our last. I will keep your Kalikori in a place of honor.
If I knew you'd take it, I would have smashed it when I had the chance.
You surprise me. Is your history worth so little to you?
My family legacy belongs to us alone. It is not for some collector's curiosity.
What did you say?
Forgive him. I thank you for your hospitality. Have the Kalikori transported to my ship.
We should just destroy that piece of Twi'lek trash.
My apologies, Captain Slavin. I forgot not everyone is able to appreciate art as I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm conducting an experiment that requires my attendance. I leave it to your command to finish the job. Thank you for the introduction, Agent Kallus. My visit is not an honor, however, but an investigation.
Thrawn.
Vehicles assembled in this factory malfunction at a rate far higher than that of others. I believe poor craftsmanship is to blame, and it has cost your Empire troops and missions. This will not be tolerated. Worker 5473, you were pressed into the Empire's service.
Yes, sir. After losing my farm.
Do you stand by your work?
I do.
This 624 AVA is the last bike you personally inspected and assembled. Please, demonstrate for me how quickly it can achieve full speed. We don't have all day.
Back in line.
Something's wrong. It's overheating. down!
No, the demonstration is not yet over.
I can't stop it!
Now that I have your attention, know this. Whatever you build here, you will test personally. I expect your malfunction rate to drop substantially. See to it that no one leaves or enters the facility. I wish to inspect the line for sabotage.
Sir,
Lieutenant, what can you tell me about this?
it looks like a section of the retaining wall, sir.
Agent Callis.
It's the mark of the Phoenix Squadron, a creature of flight rising in flames, a symbol of their commitment to victory.
It is that, and more. I've seen it everywhere, marking territory. It is a commitment, but to this world specifically. These rebels have an attachment to this place and will always return. So, have you found more subversives?
Actually, sir, we've lost some. 2 workers went missing after your speech. We found their uniforms.
I am confident we will locate them once we issue an alert.
No, I think not. The defectors will have new disguises by now. They'll hide as technicians or troopers to gather data and escape.
So you think the rebels are more than just saboteurs?
Indeed I do, Agent Callis. These rebels are after information likely heading to Section A2. Secure it. You know, after analyzing the rebels' escape, it's clear to me they had help from one within our Imperial ranks.
The rebels have a mole, and all personnel must be interrogated. This spy must be found.
Patience, Governor. Acting out of emotion will not serve us here. We must wait and watch. And when we find our spy, and we will find them, we shall turn them from an obstacle to an asset. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Callis?
Your strategy is without flaw, Grand Admiral. As always.
You seem in surprisingly good spirits, considering this loss.
Loss, you say? The rebels may have protected the location of their base for now, but in doing so, they have narrowed my search. Before today, they could have been hiding in any of 1,000 systems, but now I know they are almost certainly on one of the 94 planets surveyed by my infiltrators. The rebels have won this battle, but the war will be ours.
Things have fallen into place a little too perfectly for my liking, and I don't think Lieutenant List is capable of what you've accused him of.
I agree.
Sir, the prisoner's effects have arrived, as you requested.
Colonel Yularen, what do you think of this design?
A beast of some kind?
A stylized expression of a Lothcat, a ubiquitous native of Lothal, and rendered by a very familiar artist. The use of this specific color, the angle of the line, this is the work of the rebel Sabine Wren. I believe this helmet belongs to her compatriot, the young Jedi, and our escaped prisoner, Ezra Bridger.
Bridger? If Bridger was the shuttle thief, why didn't Callis alert us?
Because, Colonel Yularen, Callis is the rebel spy, Fulcrum. He used List's cylinder to impersonate and implicate him. And more importantly, he used the young Jedi's power to gain access to my office and reprogram my droids. Very skillfully, I might add.
I would never have suspected one of my best students was capable of this betrayal.
And that is why you and so many others have been deceived. I believe Agent Fulcrum will prove far more useful to the Empire than Callis ever was. You may have transmitted your warning, Agent, but in doing so, you've given me the last piece of the puzzle. Now, this is the trajectory of General Dodana's fleet, and this is the trajectory of your Fulcrum transmission. Taken separately, they mean nothing, but together...
Nothing. There's no planet there. The rebels are smarter than you give them credit for.
A pity you do not study art, Agent Callus. There is much it can show you, if you know where to look. Such as a system which does not appear on Imperial charts, but is represented in the art of the ancient people of this sector. I believe they call this Attalon, now the home of your rebel base. Admiral Constantine, deploy the fleet to these coordinates. We will join you shortly. Has she revealed the location of the rebel fleet?
Oh, I haven't begun asking questions yet.
Then allow me.
I'll die before I tell you anything.
I imagine you will, General. Like so many of your friends in the failed attack, and so much of your family back on Ryloth. I wanted to ask you about your Calicori. I like to know the deeper meanings of the pieces I collect. To me, they are not merely trophies, but symbols that truly represent some of my greatest adversaries.
You don't need to know what it means, since I'll be taking it back.
From my own analysis, I have determined that these shapes represent individuals important to you at some time in your life. This design I found most interesting, for it seems to refer to a brother, one who died while he was still quite young. I imagine it is a bittersweet memory for you.
You aren't worthy of holding that, let alone understanding it.
Of course, I do apologize. However, its legacy likely ends with you. You should take heart knowing that this work of art is at least appreciated by its new owner. Governor Price, I'll leave you to complete her interrogation. It was a wise decision for you to surrender.
I didn't have much choice.
Oh, nonsense. You could have chosen to let your people die. However, you chose to be a Jedi. Predictable. You follow a long history written by the Jedi where they choose what they believe to be morally correct, instead of what is strategically sound.
And yet the Jedi have survived.
The Jedi once numbered in the thousands. What's left are a scattered, frightened lot, mostly beaten and in hiding, or poorly trained children like yourself. I must admit, the mysteries of the Force are an enigma to me. But for all those abilities, all the power, the Jedi lacked the vision for how to wield it.
The Force isn't a weapon, but you'll never understand that.
Oh, I don't have to. It was not my intention to utterly destroy Lothal, but that is inevitable now. These are a few of the artifacts I've gathered from your home world. I saved what I could. I have even taken some of Sabine Wren's work. She's quite talented. Or was quite talented.
You think you can take whatever you want? Things you didn't make? Didn't earn? Things you don't even understand? You don't deserve to have this art or Lothal.
Who deserves what is irrelevant. What matters is who has power. But that is something the Jedi won't teach you, so I'll take you to someone who will.